So now going back to the housing project, obviously the phase one was looking at the trial. What do you hope to accomplish then? What is the end game with the housing project as it relates to the project itself and today, 2010, 2011, 2012? What should we hope to gain by going through this exercise?
The end game is a regional action towards equity for us. Our intent was to acknowledge the history, to listen to the stories, to build a more inclusive truth, and then to act. And so when it's all said and done, we want to have recommendations, we want to have an action plan that then begins to tie our communities and our regions together so that we can operate in a more cooperative way, in a more collaborative way, in a healthier way for all of us. That's the intent.
What might be one particular example of something that we would be looking at? Are we talking about would be insurance rates as it relates to living in Detroit versus maybe living in a North Oakland County suburb? Would it be, are we still talking about a time when we might be discouraged if we are a person of color from moving into certain communities in the region? Because a lot of people who will be watching will say, well, haven't we already gotten past that? So what are the particular issues you think that we would be talking about? And I say we too because I know I'm serving on your committee.
Right.
So it's an interesting topic to me because I think a lot of folks will say, well, that's the past then, and why are we bringing it up? Aren't we all fine now?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think we'll uncover?
Well, there are a couple of things. First, when we examine the past, when we acknowledge the past, it is in essence to not repeat ourselves and some of the mistakes that we made. And where we are is, we're looking at the past, but we're not staying there. There's still a lot of things that need to be accomplished, probably more than we realize when we think that just a few years ago, for example, Proposal 2 was defeated from 80 out of 83 counties. That is a significant indication that there's more work to do. And I believe that as we continue to move towards a place of recommendations, the sky can be the limit. I mean, you brought up a good point about insurances. I live in the city of Detroit. I'm very, very aware, acutely so, of the differences in insurance between myself and my friends who live in other parts of the region. But it could also be mass transit. If we can't get to where the jobs are, then we still are operating at a disadvantage. It could be it could just be fair housing in terms of values of homes. What we did decide to do was that we wouldn't say what we were going to do. We were going to let the process organically take its course and then find out through the testimony and through what the Truth Commission will be revealing, what are the most important areas that will need to be addressed, and then move from that point. Now we're still about a year or so away before we're going to be even close to that area where we can say we're going to move directly towards housing, we're going to move directly towards mass transit, we're going to find some kind of equitable way of dealing with our school systems. We don't know yet, but we do know that it will be something that will be impactful to all parties at the table.